not sure if anyone is really talking about this here on YouTube, but guess what? I'm gonna bring TikTok to you. So, Aroma Concepts collaborated with Avery, and she created two fragrances. Now, y'all might know Avery up on TikTok. She be selling all the Middle Eastern fragrances. However, I know her from 90 Day Fiancé. So I was like, oh, I remember seeing her on TikTok. I was like, I know this girl. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's Avery. So I do watch some of her videos, and she is hugely into Middle Eastern fragrances, and she had a chance to make not one but two fragrances that we're going to talk about today. But if you're new here, hey, I'm Chi Chi, and I talk about all things lavish but logical. So if that's your sort of thing, go ahead, subscribe, make some friends in the comment section, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So I think her original launch was sold out, and then they restocked it, and she was on Aroma Concepts Live, and they had a little cute little bundle for a discounted price, and I was like, you know what, let's hop on it. So the one that I was most interested in was Ruby Avery. Now, these are extrait de parfums. The box of this was actually really, really nice. You can see there's a little bit of texture to it. So I really enjoyed the packaging of it. And then here is the actual bottle. And obviously this is ruby, so it looks like a ruby. Now, y'all know I am not the biggest fan of bottles looking like things. However, out of all the jeweled bottles that I have in my collection, this is actually my favorite. It's very, very like weighty. The cap's got a little weight to it. It's smooth. Like, I really enjoy this bottle. Like the side detailing, but the actual jewel component, I was like, this is what I want to see when somebody says their bottle looks like a jewel. This is what I want to see. Avery said that, you know, Ruby was, you know, the big older sister, and Jewel was the young fun sister. So, you know, my mentality, I'm like, I'm not trying to be all young and fun. I want to be grown and sexy. So this is the one I had my eye on. So when I got it, I sprayed it. I was like, yeah, she's definitely grown. Definitely grown. But I'm not sure if this is my personality. Like, I'm not there yet. It's mysterious. It's, you know, seductive. It's those qualities that I like. But the arrangement of it, I just wasn't truly a fan of. So the notes in here, let me get my phone out. Okay, so Ruby has top notes of tart cherry, red apple, and silky cashmere. Heart notes of rose, jasmine, and musk. Base notes of vanilla, sugary, and sandalwood. So, judging off of those notes, I was like, okay, it is probably going to be really grown. But there's some note in here that I'm just like, it might be the cashmere or the type of musk that they use. I'm not sure. But it is creamy. It's tart. If you're thinking, oh, Lost Cherry, it's not that, okay? If you're thinking Love Fest by KAYALI, this is not it. There is a bit of sweetness to it, which I do enjoy. That sugary, almost kind of vanilla. It pops up later in the day. When I wore it, I was just like, can we get to the good part, you know? But I was really shocked that off top, like, this wasn't a love for me. You know, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it just really didn't put me, like, in a good spirit. Like, yeah, like, ooh, okay. So, like, it's a pretty fragrance. I think it leans very mature, a little bit more mature than what I had imagined it would be. But it is a nice fragrance. So I was like, okay, Ruby, not my fave, but I was just like, okay, cool. So because I led with that one, I was like, oh gosh, let's bring on the juvenile girl. And again, this bottle is very, very cute. Just pink. And the side is actually rose gold versus the gold. So I was like, okay, here we go with the kitty stuff, you know. Instant love. I love this one. There's something about this one that is just powdered sugar goodness. And it's sweet and slightly raspberry. When I first sprayed it, I was like, wait a minute, is this giving Minnie Mouse from House of Sillage? But I was like, no, like it gives kind of that, it gives kind of that airiness, but the raspberry note is way more prominent in Minnie than it is in this one. But I was just like, okay, unexpected winner. Like, I need to stop judging some of these fragrances thinking they gonna be too young, and they're just right up my alley. So this one, let me see, Jewel. Top notes are raspberry, lychee, and mandarin. Heart notes of rose, orange blossom, vanilla bean, and tonka. Base notes of vanilla, sugary, cedarwood, and musk. You definitely get a powdered sugar confectionery treat. Think you have a raspberry, right? They squeeze a little bit of lychee on there because I really don't get lychee, but I get something else. I'm like, it's not just raspberry. So you get that. And then they put it in powdered sugar. They dip the raspberry in powdered sugar and put it on a pink petal, and they serve it to you. That is what this is. That is what this is. It is really, really great. I've already have a tiny little dent in here. I've been using it. Like, and these bottles are full. Like, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the juice, but the juice is all the way up to the top. I've been using this, and I it's one of those fragrances that you could just spray and it smells so good. It's just a fun energy about it without being juvenile. It's like, it's sweet. It's that powdery sugar that really gets me, and I'm just like, I just want to spray it. And then the longevity on both. Really great performance on both of them. This one, I would say it taps out around 7, but the other one maybe 8, almost 9 hours that I personally get. I just like how this smells. Like, I really can't describe it, but it's not so young where like I'm like, oh gosh, I smell like a high schooler or something like that. Although these high schoolers, they be smelling like BACCARAT and all that stuff at this point. But there's something that makes me smile when I wear this fragrance. It's just airy, it's sweet, it's got that raspberry in there. Oh, I was shocked by this one. Shocked, because if you would have told me that I would like this more than this, I would have been like, girl, just based off the notes, I would have been like, girl, please. Ms. Ruby is going to get all my attention. Nope. Jewel standing front and center like, what? You thought, and I have to give credit where there's credit due. Now, I think Ruby is going to be really great for fall and winter, because she does have a little bit of depth and she grabs you. But it's something I would layer under like Lost Cherry. 1000% I would layer this under Lost Cherry just to have a little bit more base, because you know Lost Cherry, as soon as you spray it, boom, she's lost. So to have a little bit more grab, like, get over here, absolutely I will be layering with that. I don't have a ton of layering combinations. I just couldn't get through a lot of them. But the new LATTAFA YARA candy, try these two out and report back, because this kept it very fun, kept it very youthful. So I also had to pair it with good old Minnie Mouse. And if you couldn't get your hands on Minnie Mouse, or you just really didn't want to buy Minnie Mouse, try this one out. I'm not saying it's a dupe. It's not a dupe at all. Actually, let me take the top off. I'm trying not to knock my stuff over. No, it is not a dupe at all. Not even close. This is a smooth softness, you know, and just put them together. Just put them together. Like, who am I to like such sweet fragrances? But the way it's done, I am thoroughly happy in it. I'm going to show one more. Show one more. If you wanted to add a little bit more of that, that lychee, bring it out a little bit more just to compete with the raspberry, hell, you could layer all three together. I'm not above that. So yeah, I wonder how this would fare on top of like Delina Exclusive. That's the layering combination I do want to try. I think it will layer really well because it does have the rose, it does have the lychee in it. So I think that's going to be my next layering combination for this one. I'll probably report back on like TikTok or Instagram or something like that. But out of the two, if you're going to ask me which one to get, hands down for me is going to be Miss Jewel Avery over here. Avri Ruby, she's cute, but she's just a teeny bit, a little too mature for what I'm looking for currently right now. And Jewel is just checking off all the boxes, but it's a fantastic release. I really enjoy it. But check out some of my other videos and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.